Hello everyone, it's that time of the day again. It's time for our daily recap. Today is June the 8th, 2016, and we are going to recap the past couple of days as we wanted to do most of it together because we had some really good wins and we had some small losses, and we just wanted to go over everything, and that's pretty much it. So quickly, first of all, we're gonna jump right into the chat room here, and as you can see, we alerted BSPM at 189. That's way down here. I'm gonna just quickly take a look at that there, and it was down here somewhere, and we alerted that there, and we said 180 is a stop and never hit the stop, and we're looking for 10% plus. So we try to keep expectations low, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see, we trade with our members, and basically we're looking at 420. I said it seems reasonable. It went as high as 415, I believe, or something like that. But either way, we were half out at this halt as soon as we came out of the halt, which was around the 320 area, and then we sold another quarter in this out of this halt around the 350 area, and we're still holding a quarter of our original position. That's what we had today. What we've had in the past week is all the Chinese company stocks that have gone through the roof, and it's just been ridiculous. And we don't have a problem with it, but the only issue that we have that we could have is that they don't give you enough time to get in. Like we have been we've been trying our very best to get into these ones, but AEHR, we got into this one here, but we weren't able to alert it to our members because it moved really, really fast. And sorry, this is not the day we got in. Actually, this day we did get in as well at 175, and we had a stop at 174. It didn't do anything. It hit our stop, and we were out. So as you can see, we keep our stop losses very, very tight. And this is the one that we were in. We got in around the 140 mark, and we were out around the right after the halt, right up here. We were out of that stock, and we were, it's gone now. But we tried it again. We said maybe there's another chance that can happen. We were also in RADA yesterday, and as you can see, it was a really, really nice move. We got in at 60 cents. We got in way back here at 60 cents. It didn't hit our stop loss, so we held through. And as you can see, this is what happened. As soon as it got to around the 185 mark, I had a 10% trailing stop, and it went up to around the 89-cent mark, and then it came back down to 80 cents, and it basically sold for me. So that was that, and just a bunch more. I mean, it's just been a really crazy ride. BSPM, as you can see, it is just on fire here. We're looking at 450. It just touched 450. There we go, 455. It just won't stop. And again, we trade with our members. We have drawn the resistance and support lines so they know what to do. In the main member area, we have made a video on how we trade so they can see what we do and how we trade and so on. And that's pretty much it. We would like to go over a few more picks, but we just want to see where this one really takes us. So this HUSA, while we're looking at it, actually hit our stop loss as well. So as you can see, we keep our stop losses pretty tight, and that recent video that we've sent out will take stop losses from 5% to almost basically nothing. We've taught our members exactly when we're looking to sell and what we want happening in a particular stock within the next couple of minutes before we actually do anything. So that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna message here saying all out of BSPM. at 4.29. Good move. And who knows where it can take us? It might go up to like $6 or $7. Who knows, right? But the fact of the matter is that we're trying to focus on this video here, and we made a decent profit. The next thing you don't want to see is a huge drop, all the way down, to like maybe $3. It can go up to $5, but the point of this video is to show you that we're content, we're happy with our purchase, and that's what matters the most. So we, like I said before, we share everything that we know with our members. It has a chance of going up to 536. If it wants to go nuts, it can go up to 675. That's a totally different situation. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, you know, it's not looking to stop here. It's looking to go a lot higher, and it's a very, very nice move actually, because these are the real trades that we like, the ones that actually give our members time to get in and actually, you know, buy the stock, and you know, we can actually trade with them. Those big poppers right at the beginning of the day, they are somewhat they're nice, but the issue with them is it takes way too long, and it takes way too long for our members to get any sort of information. And I think that should be it. Should be the end of it there. Lost quite a bit of momentum along the way. And yeah, we'll move on to other things. What else we alerted yesterday was VLTC. This was a pretty nice move. It was alerted at exactly $4. Um, if it wants to open up, that would be nice. It was a bit of a choppy move. It wasn't so clear. But again, like I said in the video, we show our members exactly how to trade, when to get in and when to get out. So it just makes the process a lot easier for them as well. And that's pretty much it. This was just an amazing move. It was very, very easy. Again, you have to imagine this as if this is 9 o'clock, this is this is 9:31, this is 9:32, and this is VLTC yesterday. It was a pretty decent move. We got in at the $4 mark, which is right here, and as you can see, it went up to a high of 473. Obviously, we weren't in at 473, and that's pretty much that. Let me see what else I can find here while we watch BSPM show its strength all the way up there. That's pretty crazy, to be honest. No news, nothing. It just feels like moving today, and it did. And again, this is these are all Chinese stocks, and it's pretty crazy how they move. They took a pretty long break though. They haven't moved in a long, long time, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna get into sync as well. That was also yesterday, and we got in at 3:30 yesterday, and we said we were looking for a profit of 15%, and 3:30 was down here, exactly right down here, and as you can see, it went from roughly 3:30 all the way up to 3:47. It was a pretty decent move, and that's pretty much it. Sorry, I'm just looking through the list of the alerts. One that didn't do well for us at all was DPW. We should have sold this on the first move that we got, but it didn't really, help out too much. We alerted this at 51 cents right before close, which was basically right here somewhere, right here, and then right before close it jumps all the way up to 59 cents. before we can sell, it basically just, you know, it came back down and the market closed. So we said, let's see what happens tomorrow. We had another chance for about a couple of minutes to sell for a small profit, but this was just not one of the trades that we make because it makes no sense whatsoever. There's no volume, it's not moving. But we had a stop loss at 45 cents and it hit the stop loss there, and we were out. So again, and not everything moves the way you want, but as long as you make more profit than losses, that's all that matters. BIOC, we have alerted this one at 77 cents as well. We're still holding it. Let's see what it does near the end of the day. Um, again, there's not much news on this. There's no like real trial updates or anything like that. But again, it's got a chance, so we're gonna continue to hold it. Um, the deal with these the Chinese stocks that have moved the way they have is you have honestly you have like 5 minutes to decide what you want to do with it. If you want in or if you want out, because you know they're gonna do the same thing every single day. It's the same nonsense over and over again. There you go again, 105 to 135 within just a few minutes. Um, there was AEHR, we did that one already, AKAO. I don't think it's one of those same Chinese stocks, but it did something very similar. You can see the move, 380 up to about 450, and then there were a few more yesterday. There was CALI. This is off the top of my head. This is all I can remember. This was just ridiculous, and obviously we weren't in this at all. We didn't even bother. It goes from roughly $1.10 up to 440, and then the sell-off begins. The market opens right there, and all you can see the huge sell-off. Um, just it's horrible to be in these stocks on the way down, and a lot of people they don't look at putting stop losses, and the next thing you know, this thing is sitting at $3 from a buy of like $4, and you're down, and you're thinking, hey, if I sell it and it goes back up, what happens then? So you don't end up selling it, right? You hold it, and it just keeps on going lower and lower and lower. All right, so as you can see, this is it's looking half decent. The only thing for me is if it tested $1, as you can see way down here, it tested $1 there, and then it tested $1 there again, and it's testing $1 again. I don't know why it would make me wait all the way from March the 18th until now to move back just up to $1. Hopefully we see a move way above $1. I got about 20,000 shares in this one, averaging 67 cents. And if I get a move, we could possibly see $2 if we can see a break above $1. If we can see a break above, I would say 115, 117, just to be on the more positive confirmed side. That could be really, really nice. And that's pretty much that. Another one is ECTE. We alerted this one way back about maybe 2 weeks ago. This was just an amazing move. We alerted it down here somewhere in the 160 area, and as you can see, we're sitting at roughly 280. We're looking to see if it can pass $3 because that's pretty much resistance right now. And there's a chance, but it's a small chance because it's had a pretty nice move. Roughly, if you look at it, realistically, it's moved from like 90 cents up to about 280. So we're sitting at 270. There's a lot more, but these are the ones that come right off the top of my head. If I was to look into them, I'd probably find a little bit more. LNTH is one of them because I thought about DCTH. And again, this is the one we alerted at 218 and it's continuing to move higher. We should see it test at least $3. And that would be that. That would be pretty cool. And that's another one of those. We just want to make sure that the expectations are not, through the roof. There should be some understanding that, not everybody is going to be just perfect. But the fact of the matter is that we're trying to help our members become better traders, and at the same time we are benefiting them. We are, sending up really good picks. There are picks that don't move, and there are picks that hit the stop loss. It's annoying, but it's a part of trading because you have to compare it to, what happens on a regular basis. You get into a stock just because it's moving, you think it's good. You get into it, and then the next thing you know, it falls, and you don't put any stop losses, and then you're done. And a lot of the times, the bigger issue is all you're doing is sitting on the sidelines watching, stocks move while others are profiting, and you're just watching. So that can become a bit of a frustration as well. So I guess we'll close off this video here with what we have. And again, there are some stocks that look really, really good. And I would be careful with this because the only reason stocks move higher is when market makers and long-term investors in stocks are looking to sell. That's when they basically raise the price high enough where you can actually start to get out. And today is June the 8th, and everything is just green everywhere you look. So normally this is one of those situations where you're getting in, and you could be in a situation where people are just trying to load off whatever they've been accumulating for the past 3 to 4 to 5, maybe even 6 months, and you're just getting stuck into those. So make sure that you close your days with you finish off your days with closing positions, and I think that to me is very important because it can cause you to be stuck in a stock for an extended period of time. So one more thing, let me see if I can get this in here. Based on what we've been trying to do, we've been trying to get into stocks the day before, and this is what we had yesterday. We were looking at BLIN. We were looking at it right at pretty much at the close, and we said it looks like it's gonna make some move there. And as you can see, we were talking about getting into DPW there, and that's that. If you look at BLIN this morning, it just went nuts, right? That's insane. It was up about 250% pre-market, and I think that's just insane. So that's our list there, and sorry, there was that, and then there was a GVO, and we were talking about GVO yesterday in the chat room as well. It looked pretty good, and I guess we can't bring it up here. So yesterday we alerted RADA, and we were trying to give members to get into GVEO at the same time as well. But the problem was it moved up so fast in a small period of time that we were like, maybe they're just trying to load off shares. And there you go, WPCS actually broke down. So we lost something, but it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, it's a part of trading. It's gonna happen, and that's one of the things that you have to learn to deal with when you're trading. But you have to look at the opposite end of it and see where that takes you as well. At least you're not stuck in it at 171 hoping that it goes back up. You're out, it didn't work, maybe give it a shot another day and see what happens. So GVO yesterday was moving at the same time as RADA, and it looked really, really good, but the only problem we had was it was, just gonna pull this up here. So it was around the same time as RADA started to move, right about here. And what we saw was this huge move up here. We said, you know, the stock is moving up from 22 cents, and you know, from maybe like a couple of weeks ago, and from 22 cents all the way up to like 65 cents, even the 60-cent area. It's almost like what, 300%. And I don't think it's a good option there. Um, oh, sorry, actually, it's actually 200%. And we thought, you know what, it's already moved up quite a bit. How much higher can it really go? And as the market was closing, it looked like we had made the right move, as the stock came right back down. And this was a similar chart to RADA, and so it looked like it was the right move, and we just missed out on that one. But again, we've been working on getting into stocks the day before, and we did pretty well with BLIM. Another one that we were watching right from the morning, it just took off, was GBR. We saw this one at the 120 mark, and before we could pull the trigger, this thing was just moving higher and higher. Remember, we do have to alert stocks, so normally we want to be in a stock with you rather than just trying to alert it and then later on be accused for, not actually trading the stocks that we actually alert. So before we could actually get in, before we could actually alert it, you can see what it did there. And again, all of these are in the chat room, and we can't make this stuff up because our members are going to watch these videos as well. And if we're making things up, then you get it. It's going to be a bit confusing. There's that one, and then we're going to do one last one that members actually made money off of, was DARM. They got in at 95 cents, and I'm not sure when everybody got out, but they were all out. Whoever traded it was out for a profit. Again, we couldn't get in because we were too busy looking at the stock to see if it was going to move or not. But they saw it, they knew what they were looking for, and I like their confidence, and they actually sold. So the stops, we have showed them when to sell, so they already know when to sell. And I believe the final sale was at 110 or 111, but the first half was sold a little bit higher, and then we wait to see if it would rebound off of this, and it didn't, and that should have been the last sale. So we covered a lot of stocks here, and it's just crazy how things move in the stock market whenever they want. Um, Huge moves. You know what I mean about, like, CALI, it moves from like $1 to 450, 350% up, like it's nothing, like it's no big deal. And then the last one we should cover, which is HMNY. We saw the stock at 251 on this day here, on this first candlestick here, and this is very similar to our pick on PRGN. If you remember that one, it moved up about what was it, about 800% in one day, and it was very similar. It's a very, very similar chart to that. And we saw it around the 251 mark. We went into the chat room, we said, sorry we missed it, and the reason we missed it was because the average volume at that time was 3,300 a day. 3,390 a day was the average volume at that time. So that's why it came under our scanner, and we missed it at that point, but we did alert it at 251, and we said, you know what, sorry we missed it, but it looks like a good pick, and 251 was the mark. One of our members made around 45,000. I think it's like 44,000 and change, getting in at 251. And then what we did was we jumped over to StockTwits, and we were basically, talking about what's a good, buy price or when to get in and when to get out type of thing, and what's safe. And at $5, people were saying, what, sell it, get out. And we were like, no, you're crazy, because we drew our lines and there was not a chance for any sort of a sell at that point. We told our members that 820 was a good price to sell, and that's basically what they did, which was, I believe it was on this drop here. It was on this drop here somewhere that it was basically a sell. It was at this line. So that member did really well for for himself, looking at roughly 45,000, 44,000 and change, closer to the $45,000 mark, and it was a really really nice day for him. And we got two emails of making money on HMNY, like a lot of money, and there were some smaller ones as well, a few thousand here and a few thousand there, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much that. I mean, we got into a few of these. We got into CLTX last year. It was a reverse merger, and it did really well. It went from 62 cents to roughly 650, and it was a really nice move. And that was within 4 days of us alerting. But the move from 62 to 650 was in 2 days. So it went from 62 cents to about $2, and then went up to 62 cents. I mean, $6.50 the next day, including pre-market and everything. So that was a pretty nice move there. And then, a few years back, we got into SR. That was the best thing that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, until recently, where we saw PRGN, and HMNY, of course, where what it did was it moved from 267. I got in around 321 pre-market, and it was about a minute before the market opened. And obviously I didn't have it all the way to 1850, but that's basically what it did, and I thought it was just insane. Let me see if I can pull it up on some scanner here. SR, no, that's not gonna work. But that was a pretty insane move. Standard Register, I think that was the company. But again, we covered a few days at once, and that just makes life a lot easier. And as you can see here, we're not the type that are not going to answer this question. We're actually going to go look and see what's a good price and when to get out and so on. And we're going to let our members know and see what we think is a good price. So just to finish it off, not every time do we get everything in the scanner. Sometimes you can see what's good and you can see it in the scanner as well, and you can somewhat make a decision as to if it's a good buy or not. And it's available to you as well, and that's the most important thing. I mean, we've got to try to help each other. So that's that. We thank you for watching this video, and we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you get into one of these big Chinese moving stocks. All right, take care. Have a nice day.